Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you have not been here before. For the start of 2025, I thought it would be fun to look into some makeup looks that experts say will be big in 2025. So for this look, I'm doing the full face of makeup with no mascara. And let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be starting off with my Giorgio Armani foundation. This one is in the color 4. And this one has been feeling just a touch too light for me lately, so I am going to add in some True Match by L'Oreal Paris in C56 medium. And this is just an easy way to match your foundation as your natural color fades and grows without having to buy different color foundations. I'm going to start my initial blend with a nice big flat brush. Once that's evenly spread, I like to switch over to a beauty blender and tap it over the skin to get rid of any streaks and make the foundation as smooth and flawless as possible. Alright, so next I'm going to go in with a contour. Again, this is a full face of makeup. I do want the palette to shine through since we're not having anything on the eyes. I'm going to go in with Rare Beauty. This is the bronzer stick in Good Energy. This is a nice deep brown. It is definitely a cool brown. If you've watched any of my tutorials before, you know that when you pick a contour, you definitely want it to be in a cool color rather than a warm color. Even though my skin tone is warm, the bronzer for a contour should be cool. Grabbing back my flat brush and starting that blend. Always want to go in the direction of the contour, making sure to go upwards, not dragging it down, definitely not going vertically. This will make your face look more lifted rather than dragging it down or smearing that contour in places we definitely don't want it. Now for the nose, I like to take my same brush and just give it a little squeeze to make sure it's a little more narrow, and then again blending out that contour, trying to blend without moving that product all over the nose, which is not going to have the same effect. When I get to about here, I like to go in with my fingers. And now once again, we'll just finish up with that beauty blender. Alright, next Next up, we're going to have some concealer. This is Candid Concealer in 005 from Revlon. And I'm going to go fairly heavy on my concealer today. Again, when we talk about a full face of makeup, we mean full face, so I definitely want to do this trend justice. I'm going to add a little here to accentuate the cheekbones again. Now, I used to immediately blend my concealer after putting it on. What I've found is that if you let it sit and go on to other steps and then come back, the concealer works much better. So keep it on your face. Try not to take yourself too seriously with this child's face painting on. And let's move on. For blush, I want to go fairly bold, so I'm going in with the Rare Beauty. This one is in the color Love. It is a beautiful, deep brick red. Certainly not a subtle color. You don't need too much of a deep color because it will be so pigmented, especially if there's a big difference between the tone of your blush and your skin tone. So my skin is quite light right now and the blush is quite deep. Now if I was going in with a lighter color, I would use quite a bit more because it is, even though it's a different color, it is a very similar shade as my skin tone. And so let's start the initial blend just with the finger. And then switching to our flat brush again. And now that that's all in place, and I've taken a lot of time talking, I think it's time to blend the concealer. And I'm going to go right in with the Beauty Blender for this one, patting that into the skin, whereas the brush moves things around. I just want this concealer to stay right where I placed it. Next, I want to set all of this makeup in place, so I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl Clean Professional Translucent Powder in shade 105, and I'm applying this with a nice, big, fluffy brush. And not only does this hold your makeup in place, but I find it has a bit of a blurring effect on the skin too. Making it almost look like the face is a bit filtered, but in a natural way, not in the overdone way. So now moving on to brows, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. And I want to make my brows a little fluffier and brushing them upwards to give the impression that they're not quite as sparse as they are. And then we'll let this dry and go back in with a nice eyebrow pencil. Now for the eyes, since we are skipping mascara, I don't want to do much with the eyes, but I don't want to leave them completely naked. So I'm going to go in with a nice nude shade. This one is called Buttercream, and it is from the Too Faced Better Than Chocolate palette. But anything that is very close to your skin tone should work great. Just giving my lips a little more hydration. I tend to be very dry at this time of year, so this is just the Aquaphor Lip Repair. And I find if you have dry lips, it just makes anything you put on your lips look better rather than getting big cracks in them, which is never good. So we'll let that really soak in as we fill in the brows. I'm using the Anastasia Brow Wiz, and I just want to use short little strokes to give my brows a bit more definition, nothing over the top. Even though this is a full face of makeup, it still comes off as quite natural. The contour and the blush are very subtle. So we are just creating a really nice canvas. Now the lips, my favorite of the full face of makeup, no mascara looks involve a really stunning red lip. So I'm grabbing my Italia Deluxe liner. This one is in Hot Red. Next, I'll be going in with an oldie but a goodie. This is Show Off from Revlon, number 008. It is just a matte red lipstick. And let's take a look at the final look. I think this is a very pretty look. I'm immediately reminded of the classic French girl look, which is a very clean palette with a bright red lip. I definitely don't mind how bare my eyes are. Now, let me know if this is a look that you would try this year, and if there are any other trends that you're hoping to see, or if you think trends are awful and we should go back to a different decade, that's fine too. I always love to hear from you. I hope that the beginning of 2025 has been good to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next tutorial.